Dr. Eben Alexander, the brain surgeon who proved life after death. Have you ever wondered what happens after we take our last breath? The silence that follows the emptiness that some fear, or the peace that others seek. For centuries, humanity has grappled with this ultimate mystery, life after death. It's a question that touches every heart, every soul, regardless of belief or background. Today, I want to share with you a remarkable story, one that challenges everything we thought we knew about death and the possibility of what lies beyond. It's the story of Dr. Eben Alexander, a respected neurosurgeon who once dismissed notions of an afterlife as nothing more than comforting myths, until his own near-death experience forced him to confront a reality far stranger and more beautiful than science alone can explain. Dr. Alexander spent years in the cold, logical world of medicine, believing consciousness was tied solely to the brain's physical workings. But when he fell into a coma from a rare bacterial meningitis infection, his brain stopped functioning in ways that should have made experience impossible. Yet during those days of unconsciousness, his mind traveled beyond the bounds of biology into realms of radiant light, profound love, and ineffable peace. His journey offers a powerful glimpse into the life after death, one that echoes across religions, philosophy, and even the latest scientific research. But what does this mean for us, for the way we understand life itself? Throughout history, cultures around the world have held deeply moving beliefs about what happens when the body dies. From the ancient Egyptians who built pyramids as gateways to the afterlife, to Hinduism's eternal cycle of reincarnation and Christianity's promise of eternal paradise, each faith offers its own vision of continuation beyond the grave. In Christianity, for example, life after death is a promise of reunion and redemption. Heaven is painted as a place of everlasting peace where love conquers all and suffering ends. The story of Jesus' resurrection embodies hope that death is not the end, but a new beginning. In Hindu and Buddhist traditions, death is not final, but a transition part of a vast cycle called samsara, where souls evolve through multiple lifetimes toward enlightenment and liberation. The idea that life is an ongoing journey where each death leads to rebirth invites us to consider our existence beyond a single lifetime. Philosophers have wrestled with these ideas too. Socrates spoke of the soul as immortal, suggesting that death merely frees it from the body. Modern thinkers ponder consciousness itself. Could it be more than brain activity? Could our awareness transcend physical limits? Science, too, is beginning to explore these questions with an open mind. Near-death experiences, or NDEs, have been reported by thousands of people worldwide. They often describe strikingly similar themes, traveling through a tunnel of light, encountering loving beings, reliving meaningful life moments, or experiencing a profound sense of peace. Dr. Eben Alexander's case stands out because he was a man of science, trained to seek evidence and reject superstition. His own experience wasn't a vague feeling or dream. It was vivid, coherent, and transformative. During the coma, he journeyed through a dimension beyond time and space, meeting a guide who communicated pure love and understanding. When he awoke, everything he believed about consciousness and death shifted. His story has inspired millions, but it also challenges skeptics. How do we explain such experiences when brain function is medically impossible? Some argue it's hallucination or oxygen deprivation. But others, including top neuroscientists, suggest these moments may reveal a hidden reality, something science has yet to fully understand. One of the most compelling aspects of Dr. Alexander's journey is how it echoes the timeless human yearning for meaning and connection. When faced with death, it's not fear or darkness we find, but love. A love so profound, it transcends physical existence. This theme appears again and again in spiritual testimonies across cultures and eras. From the shaman's vision quests to the mystical experiences of saints, The message is clear: consciousness continues, and the essence of who we are may be eternal. Consider the famous case of Anita Moorjani, who, after being declared terminally ill, underwent a near-death experience that healed her body and transformed her outlook on life. Or the story of Dr. Mary Neal, an orthopedic surgeon who drowned and crossed into another realm before returning to her family, forever changed by the encounter. These stories remind us that life after death is not just a distant hope, it's a profound truth felt deeply by those who have glimpsed beyond the veil. At the same time, life after death remains a mystery that defies absolute proof. It invites us to embrace uncertainty and open our hearts. It calls on us to live fully, love fiercely, and seek understanding not just in science or religion, but in the quiet moments where the soul speaks. So what does life after death mean to you? Is it a continuation of the soul's journey, a reunion with loved ones, or perhaps a return to the universe itself? An endless dance of energy and consciousness. Whatever your beliefs, the stories of those like Dr. Eben Alexander remind us of something crucial. Death may not be the end, but a doorway. And on the other side of that door lies a mystery waiting to be explored, not with fear, but with wonder. Because in the end, life after death isn't just about what happens when we're gone. It's about the love, the connection, and the meaning we create while we're here. And maybe, just maybe, that is the greatest proof of all. As we dive deeper, it's important to acknowledge that not everyone sees life after death through the lens of spirituality or religion. Some look to science for answers, and science, with all its discoveries and theories, has something intriguing to say about consciousness and what might happen when we die. For decades, neuroscience held a firm belief: consciousness is a product of brain activity, and when the brain dies, consciousness ceases. But recent research is beginning to challenge that view. Studies on near-death experiences like those reported by Dr. Alexander and many others have sparked curiosity among scientists. Some propose that consciousness might be more than just neurons firing. It could be fundamental to the universe itself, something that exists beyond the physical body. Take, for example, the work of Dr. Pim van Lommel, a Dutch cardiologist. He conducted extensive studies on cardiac arrest patients who had out-of-body experiences. His findings suggest that consciousness can continue even when the brain shows no measurable activity. These patients describe vivid, lucid experiences, meeting deceased relatives, traveling through tunnels of light, or feeling overwhelming peace. What if consciousness is like a wave, connected to a vast ocean beyond our understanding? Some physicists speculate that consciousness might be a non-local phenomenon, existing outside of space and time. This idea resonates with ancient spiritual teachings and challenges our conventional understanding of life and death. Philosophically, this opens up fascinating questions. If our awareness is not confined to the brain, what does that mean about who we truly are? Are we merely physical bodies or something far greater, beings of light, energy, and timeless existence? Think about the words of the philosopher Alan Watts, who often spoke about the illusion of separation between life and death. He suggested that death is not an ending, but a transformation, like the wave returning to the ocean. This perspective can bring comfort and a sense of unity with all that exists. Many spiritual traditions echo this. In Native American beliefs, the journey after death is seen as a return to the spirit world, where ancestors welcome the soul home. Tibetan Buddhism describes the bardo, an intermediate state between death and rebirth, filled with opportunities for liberation or new beginnings. These views remind us that death might not be a void, but a threshold, a passage to another form of existence. But amidst all these perspectives, perhaps the most compelling aspect is the personal transformation reported by those who have faced death and returned. Dr. Eben Alexander, once skeptical, now speaks openly about how his experience reshaped his purpose and deepened his compassion for others. He says that the love and unity he felt beyond the physical body changed how he views life. Fear of death diminished, replaced by awe and a profound sense of connection. This transformation is echoed by many who have had near-death experiences, a renewed appreciation for life, a desire to love more freely, and a recognition that our time here is precious and limited. Whether you believe in reincarnation, an eternal soul, or the universe's consciousness, these stories encourage us to live with intention, to cherish our relationships, and to seek meaning beyond material things. Now you might wonder, how do we reconcile all these views? Religion, philosophy, science, they sometimes seem at odds, yet here they converge on one central truth. Life after death remains one of the greatest mysteries, but also one of the most hopeful. Maybe the answers aren't meant to be locked in one doctrine or proof, but found in the personal experiences, stories, and reflections that move our hearts. At the end of the day, life after death invites us to explore not just what happens when we die, but how we live. It challenges us to face mortality with courage, to embrace love without hesitation, and to find peace in the unknown. So what do you take from these stories and ideas? How does the possibility of life beyond death shape your understanding of existence? As you ponder this, remember that exploring life after death is ultimately a journey inward into your own beliefs, fears, hopes, and dreams. And in this exploration, there is beauty, mystery, and above all, connection. Let's take a moment to explore some of the most famous spiritual encounters with life after death that have fascinated and inspired people worldwide. One of the most compelling stories comes from the Tibetan Book of the Dead, an ancient guide that describes what happens in the moments between death and rebirth. According to this tradition, the soul journeys through vivid, sometimes bewildering states, the bardos, where it encounters lights, sounds, and beings that reflect its own consciousness. This journey is a profound opportunity for liberation, but also a time of great challenge. What's striking is how this ancient text aligns in many ways with modern near-death accounts. People often describe passing through a tunnel of light, meeting compassionate figures, and experiencing a life review where every act of kindness or harm is deeply felt. Another powerful narrative is that of Emanuel Swedenborg, an 18th century scientist and mystic. After experiencing visions of the afterlife, Swedenborg wrote extensively about a world where souls continue their journey in realms filled with love, wisdom, and ongoing growth. His descriptions emphasize that the afterlife is not static, but dynamic, a continuation of spiritual evolution. Moving into more recent times, consider the story of Dr. Mary Neal, an orthopedic surgeon who drowned while kayaking in Chile. During her near-death experience, she described entering a realm filled with radiant beings who conveyed unconditional love and understanding. What moved her most was the message that our purpose is love, and this love never dies. These stories resonate deeply because they highlight universal themes: love, peace, reunion, and transformation. They offer a glimpse of a reality where death is not the end, but a new chapter. Science, too, offers intriguing parallels. The phenomenon of quantum entanglement, where particles remain connected regardless of distance, has been used metaphorically to describe consciousness and the interconnectedness of life. Could it be that our souls, like entangled particles, remain linked across time and space, transcending physical death? Neuroscientist Stuart Hameroff and physicist Roger Penrose propose a theory called orchestrated objective reduction, suggesting that consciousness arises from quantum processes in the brain, potentially surviving bodily death. While controversial, it opens a doorway to understanding consciousness as more than brain function. Philosophers have also pondered what it means to be alive and what death represents. In existentialist thought, death is a defining moment that gives life urgency and meaning. It's a boundary that shapes how we live, love, and create. But what if death is not just an end or boundary, but a passage to a different dimension of existence? If consciousness is something more than neurons firing, then life after death becomes a profound mystery, inviting exploration rather than fear. Dr. Eben Alexander's story is a powerful testament to this possibility. His journey beyond the physical brain revealed a universe filled with intelligence, compassion, and purpose. He reminds us that science and spirituality need not be enemies. They can be partners in the quest to understand the deepest truths. As we reflect on these perspectives, we realize life after death is a mosaic made of faith, reason, experience, and hope. And while we may not have all the answers, the search itself enriches our lives, deepens our empathy, and connects us to something greater than ourselves. So when you think about what happens after death, consider this. Maybe the question isn't just what lies beyond, but how the possibility of what lies beyond can change the way we live today. Because in embracing the mystery, we find courage. In opening to love beyond time, we find peace. And in contemplating life after death, we discover the infinite value of every moment we are given.